Hiya niihkas. So, today I am going to tell you about what happened to my paperbacks and what to do if you find yourself in a similar situation. So, as some of you know because you messaged me, my books disappeared. It was like the world's worst magic act, and I was not happy because I couldn't figure out where did they go. In fact, it was so strange because I would type in the titles and they would pop up and they'd disappear. So I messaged other individuals who I knew and asked them, hey, have you ever seen this? And they said no. And I checked in my inbox to see if maybe Amazon had emailed me. And there was nothing except for the general newsletter and such. And I kept looking and I kept looking, and I was kind of aggravated because I couldn't tell how long this had been going on because unfortunately I had not spent a lot of time tracking that information, partially because if I did I would be obsessively click, 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 and also because I'm focusing more right now on getting through the editing and the storytelling process so that I have multiple books available in the series to sell, even though I have the first two done and multiple novellas, because don't have a huge marketing budget, and so one of the best ways to make that grow is to make sure that I have more than one book available. And having, I think I've heard that having between 3 and 5 books in a series is a great way to kind of comfort readers that you are not going to abandon them on this series. They can sink their teeth into it and see if they like it. And so I wasn't sure how long this had been going on, and I was getting increasingly aggravated, and I finally I logged in and I was going around and there was no message in my inbox. I shot a general email to them to find out what was going on, and I didn't hear anything back. And then I decided I needed to order some more books because the proof had been approved, and for some reason the batch that I had ordered hadn't come through. So, and I hadn't gotten a response back on that either. And I was, of course, getting rather tense, and I finally found on the order form that my books had been suspended. Well, I was a little bit surprised about that, and so I continued my research, and I learned, oh, books are suspended because they're not yours to sell. Well, that's a little unusual, and to this day, I still actually don't know whether this was a glitch or whether someone reported them, because I do know from being on the other end of it, if you file a copyright infringement, Amazon typically, not always, I actually have some other friends who are on the opposite end of this, and Amazon is doing nothing. But in my case, when I filed the copyright infringement, they had it off, down, gone. So I don't know what happened. There was in February a glitch that developed where a number of individuals were flagged and their books were just suspended, just because. But Enemy Known was published in March. However, I know that glitches aren't necessarily just time sensitive. You know, they sometimes decide, well, I'm going to show back up again. So depending on the day, I believe it's a glitch, or sometimes I think maybe someone did it, but I have to admit it would be incredibly foolish for any person to try and claim that Two Rock Chronicles of All is one that I didn't write. I mean, it's one that I have almost everything in order for. So I did eventually track down an email, and I'm going to include that email in this description so that if you wind up in this place, you can talk to them as well. And it's to validate your book, and you have to demonstrate your proof of ownership. Now, if you have it, that would be your formal copyright paperwork that proves that. Now, some people have been able to use screenshots of where they filed it if it happened before the story was officially copyrighted. And if you don't have that, one of the other things that you can do is assert and claim, I have written this and I've written these other books, and then you state whatever other proof you have, which depending on the situation you're moving into, I started writing it here, I finished publishing it here. Some people have uploaded Word drafts that demonstrate the older versions of it and show the process through it. and then Amazon goes through it. And sometimes they will come back and say, no, we need more proof. Now in my case, I had a lot of evidence that I was able to show if necessary, and they went ahead and they cleared it up. But the funny thing was, this is the part that cracks me up. They cleared me as owning Enemy Known, which was the sequel, but not Identity Revealed, which is the first book. I had to wait 2 more weeks before Identity Revealed was released from its suspension. How bizarre is that? Because it's the first book in the series. However, the good news out of all this is that they are back up. And if this is something that hits you, I've seen that it struck some other authors, so make sure you have your information together, be vigilant, and if your books aren't showing up on Amazon, it's usually not just, oh, that's not a big deal. So anyway, I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. What is an unusual situation that you've had with Amazon, and how did you get it resolved? I hope you do great. Talk to you later. Bye.